interactive entertainment is one of the megatrends. First off, read this disclaimer carefully, and like, subscribe, share, and comment. Here you have the entire portfolio. A bunch of different stocks. The average performance is outperforming the S&P 500. It was actually outperforming by much more, but there's been some recent pullbacks in these stocks. This theme benefited very much from the whole lockdown situation because people are more at home and playing video games. But there's definitively been a rotation. In this video, we will look at Sony because it is especially relevant because they are releasing a new gaming console this month. So an entire new generation of consoles are entering the market. The PlayStation 5 from Sony, and you have the Xbox Series X from Microsoft. I have categorized Sony as an interactive entertainment stock because I think the gaming interactive entertainment exposure they have is most interesting and one where I think there's a lot of future growth potential. Microsoft is a company I've categorized as business artificial intelligence because I have these megatrends. So I have social artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is a separate AI theme. And then I have another theme which is more about, the more business-esque aspects of AI, and that is where I put Microsoft. I don't want a stock to be in multiple themes, so I try to find the theme where it sort of is closest to the essence of the company. Anyway, this is the company's website, Sony. This is the PlayStation 5. It's a very interesting console, very powerful. The problem with all of the with both the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox is storage space. Because when we look at previous generations of gaming consoles, the size of the games they've always been, multiple times the size of the previous generation. And numerous games on the previous console generations were, over 100 gigabytes. So if we assume that maybe, the average size for the next gen games is between 200 and 300 gigabytes, which makes a lot of sense because they will be in 4K, which means much bigger texture files, then storage will become a major issue because the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox comes with a 1 terabyte, around 1 terabyte internal hard drive, which means that maybe you can fit, 3 games on the console. In some cases, maybe just 2. That is going to become a problem. So storage space is a major issue for the next gen consoles. And I think that is one of the reasons why none of these have developed games that really take advantage of the new hardware, because that would actually reveal that storage space is a major bottleneck. Both of these next gen consoles, they use SSDs, and SSDs are way more expensive, of course, than the previous generation of storage, the HDD hard drives. So yeah, storage will be a major topic. Here is the seasonality of the stock vis-a-vis the S&P 500. You can see that August is usually a month of significant weakness, strength in October and January. If we look purely here at Sony, the percentage of months in which it closes higher than it opened, you can see that October, the previous month, is very strong, but most other months are 50-50. Here is the charts. All the history we have, you can see that there's been euphoric rallies and a deep bear market. And here we form a multi-decade rounding bottom. And this is a great example of how fantastic a rounding bottom can be. Not only did you have that pattern, you also had an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. And something that is very interesting with this stock is that it moves in very clear cycles, where you have long rising phase and long decline phase. And this happens during a bear market, but also during a bull market. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And the rallies are big and the pullbacks are also big, which means that this stock is fantastic for swing traders. And if you want to create like a long short portfolio, then this is also fantastic. You can be long, of course, during the rising phase and short during the declining phase. If you want to have a long-term position on Sony, you definitively want to buy after a correction. As far as oversold levels here on the RSI, historically, there have been instances where oversold or close to oversold levels have been signals to buy. As far as overbought levels, you can see that it can be overbought for extended periods, and overbought is not as reliable as oversold. And there have been periods during peak bearishness where it has been oversold for longer periods. But there is some trading signals here that could be derived from the RSI. There's an 87% positive correlation with S&P 500. We go here to daily data points. We have been quite overbought recently. The accumulation distribution is corroborating the rally. But given the history of this stock, it really likes to have these pullbacks. I think this is not a good time to buy Sony. I would rather wait for a pullback. If we go here to the fundamentals, options are available. It is also shortable. Good performance. If you look at the analyst price target, they suggest a potential 19% upside from the current level. Going to Saks.com, they have a number 3 hold, but an A value score, and that is really good. So you have a stock that recently flew up to 52-week highs, and it is still a value stock. P growth and P momentum. So the fundamentals here certainly bullish. There is a dividend, but it's mediocre. I mean, this is almost insignificant, but at least you get a little bit. It is a big company. Yeah, beta is around the volatility of the overall market. The things that Sony, they do of course have many more businesses than gaming. So audio and video equipment, televisions, displays, semiconductors, telecommunication. But I think that of all the businesses they have exposure to, I am most interested in interactive entertainment. They are also exploring virtual reality, and that is something that I think has a lot of potential. Okay, so to sum up my take here on Sony. Long term, I am certainly bullish on the theme. I'm bullish on Sony as a company. PlayStation is very, very interesting. The problem for Sony is that Microsoft is a very aggressive competitor. They recently has made some big acquisitions as far as gaming studios goes. And something we have seen with Netflix is that it is very important to have original content. So both Sony and Microsoft, they are trying to create the Netflix of video games. And by Microsoft acquiring Bethesda, that was a big deal. So there will be fierce competition, but I am bullish on Sony. The stock is definitively one that moves in major cycles, so you want to buy it on a pullback. And it is also a stock that you can make money when it goes up, but also when it goes down, regardless of whether there's an overall bull market or bear market. Fantastic stock. Fundamentals were also bullish. Whatever you do, of course, don't fight the trend, and may the trend be with you.